Good afternoon, everybody. Coffee House Porcupine here. Yesterday I did a video called 4 Facts and 1 Lie, and it was up to you to guess which one of the 5 facts that I gave you was the lie. Okay, I'm going to read you the answers and a little bit of explanation with all 5 facts. I'm going to do the lie last. I'm going to do them in different order than the way I read the questions to you. And the very last one's going to be the one that's the lie. Okay? When I was born, yes, I was very small. I was 6 pounds and 10 ounces. I started gaining a lot of weight when I was 16. Right now, I'm 53. So I've been packing it in for quite a few years now. That was the truth. Okay, number 2. I did have the gentleman that was giving me such a hard time in the shoe store about not being able to return a pair of shoes sitting next to me in the airplane when I went on vacation 2 weeks later. That was true. He saw me and he recognized who I was, sat down for a couple minutes, didn't say anything, found an empty seat at the back of the plane, went back there. But he did have the seat next to me. He was only there about 10 minutes and then opted like, no, I'm going to go sit somewhere else. But he did have the seat right next to me. That was the truth. Which means that, yes, I have been to England 11 times. One of the times that gentleman was next to me was a trip to England. I was going to England on that trip. I have been there 11 times. Back in the 1980s and the 1990s, British Airways used to do a thing that was called London Plus. And what they would do is they would give you a London hotel for 3 nights and a European hotel in another European city for 3 nights, and the airfare between the 2 cities in Europe for a special price. Usually be between $350 and $500, depending on which other European city you were going to. So all you had to do is pay that $300 to $500 for that part. You had to pay your intercontinental airfare, which would be like from the United States over to Heathrow Airport in London. And then, of course, you'd have your spending money, so you could do a vacation with 2 European cities, London always being one of them, for under $1,000. And between my first trip in 1986 and my last trip in 1997, I did a different city every year. One year it's London and Paris. Another year it's London and Stockholm. Another year it's London and Munich. Another year it's London and Amsterdam. And I would do London plus another city each year. But every year, I would have those 3 days in London. Then sometimes I'd add on extra days. I might stay 7 days in London and take a 10-day vacation. So that one was also true. The other one that's also true was when I was in school, had a little metal rod that was like this, and we were throwing it across the room, playing hot potato with it. You know, you had to pay attention, otherwise it would hit you, rather than just catching it. And when I caught it, I went and figured out who I was going to throw it at. I threw it at, and the teacher walked in the room just at that minute, and it hit him in a very sensitive area, and he was in a little bit of pain, and he kind of sung soprano for about 5 minutes. So that one was true. Now, the one that's the lie was the accident I had with the VW Beetle. Now, part of that is true. But you see, if you have a part truth, it's not the full truth, which means it would be a lie. Now, the part of it's true. Yes, I was heading home. Yes, it was a Volkswagen Beetle. Yes, it was a foggy, rainy night. Yes, I did lose control of the car. And yes, it did flip over and go onto an embankment. But no, it did not drop down 3 feet onto the railroad tracks. So that's only a part true. So that's the one that is the lie. It stopped on the embankment. And this is 1974, so they really didn't have seat belts back then like they do now. And I just crawled out of the car and saw a house up on the hill. When I'm knocking on the guy's door, I said, "Can you call police, please? I just had a wreck." Tow truck came in and pulled the car out. But it was on an embankment. It was like this. Had it gone a little bit farther, there was a 3-foot drop off. That's not a big drop off. It's about the size of this computer table to the floor. But it just laid on the embankment there. It did not go over the side. Did not go on the railroad tracks. So there you have it. 4 facts and 1 lie. Now, I'm not going to tag anybody, because one person that guessed did send me a response that someone else had already tagged him. But all I am going to do is I am going to encourage the Polyman to do a 4 facts, 1 lie video also, which Dave the Couch Guy has already done. I'm just going to encourage it. I would love to see it. And you know something? You know what would be really cool? If the Polyman could do a version and Rico could do a version also. And if you don't know who Rico is, go to the Polyman's channel and you'll see him there. As usual, thank you for allowing me to bore you. And have a wonderful day. Bye.